What's up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, if you've been subscribed to me since like 2021 and 2022, you guys are used to my gaming videos, but today I'm doing something different. I will be doing a review video, and this review will be on Daredevil Born Again. And oh my gosh, I just have so much stuff to say about this show. This will be a non-spoiler and a full-on spoiler review. I'll be putting timestamps if you want to choose which section y'all want to go with first, but if y'all want to hear both, then you got it right here. But let's dive right into this. First, my non-spoiler review, like my overall rating. This might officially be my favorite MCU show, and maybe I'm saying it with a little bit of bias just because the Netflix Daredevil show was just like possibly my favorite comic book show of all time. Well, hold on, why am I saying that? It is my favorite comic book show of all time. And ever since Daredevil and Kingpin got added to, like, got brought back from Netflix to Marvel, people were just so, like, scared. And what they did with them in this show, I was so freaking happy. First of all, one of the things I just really loved about this show was the action. Like, this is possibly one of people's most anticipated parts about the show. Was the action going to be brutal like the Netflix series? And it does. There's plenty of broken bones and just blood showing. And this is not a spoiler, but there is one scene in the finale that is so graphic. You know what I'm talking about if you guys saw the finale, but holy crap, my eyes were wide open just watching that scene go down, and I'm just like, oh, that scene was so graphic. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then go watch the finale, because holy crap. Another thing I want to talk about is the writing. Most MCU shows, when it comes to their writing, it generally just lacks a bit. And this show, it just plays it off so nicely. Like, the writing is actually good for once. Starting of the show, when Kingpin and Daredevil just say, I want to quit. I want to be a new person. Show another way I can support this city. But no, when you watch the later episodes, you'll see they are slowly getting pushed back to their old ways, and the way it just delivers, it is just so nice to see. And the characters, like new characters we got introduced, like Matt's girlfriend Heather, or one of his new lawyer friends, Cherry. And when I first saw them, I was like, okay, new characters. I thought it was gonna be hard to like them, but surprisingly, after the show ended, I started to like them. And although it was great to see Foggy and Karen again, they were just not used. Okay, why am I saying this? Just wait until I get to the spoiler section. But yeah, overall, wait, no, one more thing. And the newest villain, Muse. Okay, about Muse. He was actually one of my, like, how am I supposed to say it this way? One of the things I was so excited about this show, a serial killer who literally uses victims' blood and body parts as art. Like, that is just straight up pure evil right there. And overall, for the extent of it, Muse was definitely a good villain, but the way they were just using him, like how much screen time he was given and how he was in those fight scenes, I'm just like, huh? Why is he? Okay, I need to give this more time. I need to hold back some stuff so I can save for the spoiler section, but for like 40 or 50% of the time, I was generally just not impressed what they did with Muse. Like, he was one of the things I was excited about the show for, but I guess I'm just gonna have to live with it. But if they can bring him back for season 2, that would be awesome. But overall, this show was so enjoyable. I know there might be people that say Loki is still better, but I don't care. After just seeing a 9-episode first season new series, this is officially my favorite MCU show. Okay, guys, now, for any of y'all who didn't see the show yet, we are jumping into the spoiler section. So I'm just gonna say random stuff that I just had, like, was just thinking about throughout the show. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, then click off. You've been warned. Okay, so let me just get this straight off. First episode, Bullseye kills Foggy. Okay, I saw a spoiler-free review from 3C Films, and he said there was a character decision that was rumored to be part of the show, and the moment he said that, I was just like, no, don't tell me the rumor's true about Foggy dying. And when I saw it, yes, that was true. I was sad Bullseye killed Foggy, but this is for character development. Don't know if that sounded like it makes sense or what. Sorry if my talking is a bit off. I'm just trying to figure out what to say, so sorry if my talking is a bit off. But anyways, dude, Foggy only got like 10-15 minutes of screen time first episode, and then he gets killed off like that. That was just heartbreaking to watch. But it was definitely great seeing him in this show, and it was confirmed, yes, I think it was confirmed that he will return in season 2, so that's going to be awesome. And fourth episode, episode 4, when we get our first scene with the Punisher, Matt and Frank were just having a great conversation of just what Matt has been going through. Like, episode 3, the death of Hector Ayala, the same day he got free from his trial, and obviously Matt and Frank mentioning a bit of Foggy's death, and the way Matt was just talking about Foggy was just like, that just hit right there. He was just saying stuff like he was the kindest, purest soul I've ever met. That was actually pretty emotional, just talking about that scene alone. And Frank, and there's one moment in the scene where Frank is like, I don't think you want my help. I think you came here for my permission. Which led Frank to immediately knowing that Matt wants to get his hands on someone. He wants to beat the living crap out of whoever the bad person was. And obviously Frank is being very harsh with his words. He makes Matt mad a bit, and Matt just punches Frank. But Frank is just like, that was the most honest thing you did. that was actually kind of funny when he said that. And it was also very emotional. And it was also pretty emotional when Frank was mentioning his son. Like, oh my gosh, that was just like pretty sad to hear. Okay, episode 6, where we get some actual scenes with Muse. He was definitely showing a great presence. Like how is he able? One question: how is he able to climb up on these tall buildings and paint these giant murals? Like, how is he able to do this in one night? But again, it's fiction, so he must have done something to get those paintings up there. And it was just nice to see like these characters finding out that, oh, those paintings are not made of actual paint. They're made of human blood. That just genuinely shows that they are not holding back with the brutality. We definitely get a good couple of scenes where Muse is killing his victims, and that just... But then, when we get to the first fight between him and Daredevil, yeah, I don't know if just because Muse does not know how to fight, or Matthew was just got back into Daredevil, so what he's been holding inside of him for a long time, when he first got back to that suit, he just wanted to let it all out, because holy crap, although the fight was still very good, it was still very enjoyable to watch. In the comics, Muse has powers. He has superhuman agility. He does not feel any pain. And I forgot, he's like, what? A mini black hole if he uses his powers? I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but there is one ability he has where it makes him invisible to Daredevil's senses, so if Daredevil tries to send him, he would not be visible to that sense at all. But anyways, episode 7, where Matt's girlfriend, Heather is a psychiatrist, and as you've seen in the earlier episodes, she was a couples therapist for Vanessa and Wilson Fisk, because there were surprisingly problems going into their marriage, which I was not expecting to be like returned so quickly. But anyways, Heather meets this guy named Bastion Cooper, and the way Bastion Cooper was just talking about, oh, I've always wanted to be an artist. Oh, I learned I learned Taekwondo. I mean, if you saw episode 2 where she was just like, I don't know, doing a little, I guess, meeting thing with a bunch of people who need help, Bastion Cooper was Muse, and I obviously knew that from the start. And if you guys don't recognize this actor, his name is Hunter Doohan, or Hunter Doohan, whatever you guys think is right, but he's mostly popular for being in the Wednesday series, and I heard he played a killer in there, and the fact that he's a killer in here, which is pretty awesome to hear. And obviously, with episode 7, we finally get that scene of Heather talking with Bastion, and yeah, when it's just Bastion and not Muse, he can give off like unsettling vibes. Like, he is this person you do not want to be with. Who do you not want to be talking to? And the moment like he was just slowly showing that he is Muse, Heather started to get scared, and Bastion now holds Heather hostage. And the moment Muse is about to kill her, Daredevil pops in again. So we get a rematch between Daredevil and Muse, and like with episode 6, Daredevil easily has the upper hand, and holy crap, it was a lot more brutal, because not only did Muse got brutally stabbed by possibly Daredevil's grappling hook, if that was actually his grappling hook, because he usually his sticks as his main weapons, and then the moment he gets tossed back by Daredevil, Heather shoots him, and the moment I saw that, I was just like, no! Because I was just kind of disappointed with how they used Muse, and if they can actually make him return in season 2, that would be great. But overall, I was just kind of like not impressed with what they did with him. But anyway, that was it for episode 7, and then how about episode 9? That's one I really want to talk about, because I was expecting episode 9 to be different, but holy crap, I was not expecting what they would do in this episode. So we're obviously starting off where at the end of episode 8, Bullseye actually targets Wilson, tries to kill him, but Matt actually saved Wilson, so he was the one who got shot and has Matt wake up in a hospital. And Wilson Fisk, obviously him knowing that Matt is Daredevil, he sends his employee to the hospital, and it looks like he had a syringe in his hand, which means he was actually planning on killing Matthew, but until then, Wilson Fisk got access to the power grid and shut down the entire city. I was not expecting that. But obviously, Matt being Daredevil, he escaped, and then the moment he went back to his apartment, Punisher was there. And finally, that moment where we got the corrupt cops / Punisher fanboys entering Matt's apartment, we get the Daredevil and Punisher team up. And that was just fun to watch, just Punisher being Punisher, brutally beating up his victims, killing them. And obviously Matt's just dude, don't kill them. And there was one point they get into a little argument about if Matt should still kill or not, because the officer they easily beat, who had the Punisher logo, that was the officer who killed White Tiger. But obviously the little conversation was done, blah blah blah. And then the moment they get outside, Karen returns. I was not expecting Karen to actually return for another episode, because I thought this was it. I thought this was it after episode 1. We're not going to see her for the rest of the season. But no, we get moments with this trio just going with conversation after conversation. And that graphic scene I mentioned in the non-spoiler section. Okay, so it is Kingpin, and the person who he kills was this officer commissioner. I think it was Commissioner Gallo, something like that. But holy crap. I don't know if I can explain it in details, because this is YouTube, and the way Wilson Fisk was just immediately try to crush his head, and he just rips his head apart, and I'm just what? Oh my gosh. Guys, that scene was so graphic. I had no idea Marvel actually had the guts to do that. Especially since if you look at that scene and look where the show it's being streamed on, Disney Plus. Marvel and Disney approved this. Bravo to them. Bravo to them. And the next, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Punisher went to the Red Hook, which is I don't know, maybe a landmark in the city. I was just trying to get a lot of information down from this episode, but Punisher finds the corrupt cops who are using his logo, and obviously he ends up killing a few, but then he easily gets beaten up. And when he wakes up, all of these freaking corrupted cops are wearing his logo. Come on now. Punisher is just so freaking pissed. I'm just he was just you freaking clowns. I forgot what he said, guys. I'm sorry. I forgot what he said. But he gets beaten up a bit. And the next day, Vanessa and Wilson Fisk get into Fisk. They get into Kingpin's basement, and they captured some millionaires, and we see Punisher is also there. And the moment they get down to the basement, they have a little dinner, which is just okay, that's cool. They're celebrating because of what they did in New York. And then we end off with Matt in the bar that we saw in the first episode, just gathering all these people together, which is Cherry and a few other, like a couple of officers and the captain of the police force, and the show ends off right there. That was a massive cliffhanger, and there's been many reports that we will see the Defenders in season 2. Okay, well, I don't know if they're reports or rumors, who knows. But if we can see the Defenders in season 2, that would be awesome. But anyways, guys, overall, this show was awesome. I cannot wait for season 2 comes out next year. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.